All right, everybody, ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling something I think we've all thought about at some point, learning Spanish.
See.
But, and here's the twist, we're going way past the usual order a burrito on vacation stuff.
Right.
This is about how Spanish can actually boost your brain power, make you more empathetic, the whole shebang.
It's true.
And, full disclosure, I got pretty mind-blown by some of this stuff from this article. Top 14 reasons to learn Spanish
Okay.
on lingualid.com. Like, I always knew languages were good for you, but this deep dive, whoa.
They really get into it.
They go deep, right? Like straight up cognitive benefits. They're talking memory improvement, better problem solving, even holding off Alzheimer's. I was like, sign me up yesterday.
It's fascinating, right? It's not just, memorizing vocabulary. It's like you're giving your brain this whole workout.
Yeah. What do they call it? Like cross-training for your mind or something.
Exactly. Because you're grappling with a new language system, the grammar, those sounds, your brain is building these new pathways, connections it didn't have before.
So it's less about like ordering cafe con leche perfectly, more about just thinking more sharply in all parts of your life.
Precisely. Think of it like, imagine learning to juggle. Seems random, right? But it improves your hand-eye coordination, your focus.
Okay, I kind of see where you're going with this.
And those things, they help you in so many ways you wouldn't expect. Language learning, it's similar. It seems like this specific skill.
Right, like, oh, I'm learning Spanish too.
But it has these ripple effects on how your whole brain works.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So, not to get too, I don't know, career-focused here, but the article also talks about some pretty sweet job advantages. And I gotta say, that always gets my attention.
Understandably. And it makes sense given how globally influential Spanish speakers are becoming. Businesses, they need people who can bridge that gap, not just in language, but in culture too.
Totally. It's one thing to translate, it's another to really connect. You know what I mean?
100%. And that's where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
Because it's about building trust, navigating communication styles. It goes way beyond just words on a page.
Yeah, it's about building relationships, which, let's be real, that's how you get things done.
Exactly. And studies even suggest, bilingual employees, they can earn significantly more in some cases. Now, of course, it varies by job and all that.
Sure, sure.
But still, the trend is there. It's something to consider.
You know, shifting gears a bit, there was this whole other angle in the article that kind of caught me off guard.
Oh, yeah.
It was about empathy. Like, learning Spanish can actually make you a more empathetic person.
Interesting.
And at first, I was like, okay, is this a stretch? But the more I thought about it, I'm like, there might be something to this.
It's a fascinating connection they make, right? Because on the surface, language, empathy, totally different things. But when you dig in...
Yeah, because language, it's not just words, is it?
Not at all. It's a window into a whole culture, their values, history, how they see the world, all baked into those words.
So when you're learning Spanish, you're not just learning, like, how to say hola. You're kind of getting a glimpse into how another group of people experience life.
Exactly. And that glimpse, it lets you connect with the Spanish speakers on this whole other level. You start to understand their perspective, their joys, struggles, even their humor, which can be so different across cultures.
Oh, don't even get me started on humor. One time I tried to tell a joke in, I think it was Italian, crickets, total crickets. I learned my lesson.
It happens. But honestly, those little stumbles, they're part of what makes language learning so great. You're forced to recognize those nuances.
Totally.
And when you can share a laugh with someone from another culture, that's when you know you're really bridging that gap. It's not just understanding the words, it's connecting with the human experience behind them.
Right. It's like that saying, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. But with language, it's like you're borrowing their whole wardrobe for a bit.
Love that. It is. You're experiencing the world, even if just for a moment, through their eyes.
Exactly. And I feel like that shared humanity, that's where the empathy comes in, right?
Yeah.
Because it reminds you that, yeah, we've got differences, but we also all feel joy, sadness, love, loss, all those things that make us human.
It makes me think of that Nelson Mandela quote. He said, if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. And I think there's something really profound there.
Wow, I got chills.
Learning Spanish, or any language, really, it lets you speak to people's hearts.
Okay, that is powerful. And it makes you think, have you ever, like, felt closer to a place or its people just by knowing a little bit of their language? Because I know I have, like, this little secret door opens up to a deeper connection. Man, it's kind of wild how much there is to unpack about just learning another language.
It really is, isn't it?
Like, I knew there were the practical benefits and all, but this whole empathy thing, that's pretty profound.
Yeah, and let's not forget the pure enjoyment factor, too.
Oh, right. Because this article, it touched on that, how like this whole world of Spanish language entertainment opens up
Exactly.
movies, music, books, the whole nine yards.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, if you're a huge movie buff,
Oh, totally.
think how much richer your watch list could be.
And not just watching with subtitles, but really getting it, you know? Every cultural nuance, every little you experience it on this whole other level when you don't have that barrier.
Yeah, it's like you're not just watching anymore, you're kind of part of it.
Exactly. It's a whole new way to connect with stories and art. So as you go forward with all this, here's something I want you to think about. If you could watch a nice Spanish language film, no subtitles, and understand every single bit of it, what would you choose? And what does that choice say about you, about the culture you're drawn to? Something to ponder.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. Well, on that note, gotta say, I'm feeling super inspired after this deep dive. Big thanks to lingualid.com for the thought-provoking article,
Absolutely.
and to all of you for listening. Keep those brains engaged, folks. We'll catch you on the next one.